Hello everyone, Steve here. So for today's video, I'm gonna be talking about about my thoughts and I'm be giving my thoughts and opinion about low cow culture, more specifically my disgust of it, as well as like why I just don't like low cow culture, specifically the exploitation of vulnerable people all for like clicks and views. So yeah, anyways, enough like I don't know wasting your time. I'm just gonna get into it right away. So pretty much like I've been watching, yeah, essentially on the weekend I've been watching some like locale videos. Specifically, I was like watching an iceberg video about locales. I'll probably like I don't know, give you like the channel's name. I'll probably like give the link for like the iceberg in the description as well as the channel. Like shout out to I forgot his name. I forgot the channel's name, but shout out to the guy for for the video. Like I recommend watching in it. And as I was like watching in like the local iceberg video course, it's about like many of like the infamous locals like Chris Chan, Daniel Lawson, Dofia Chu, and King Cobra, and some like other ones of course. I can't name all of them. And pretty much. But anyways, as I was like watching the videos, of course, I felt like pretty disgusted. Of course, like hearing about like how essentially like I don't know, people on the spectrum, on like essentially who are autistic or neurodivergent, so essentially on the spectrum of course, essentially just being exploited by people, for clicks and views because of them just being different, and pretty much and also them easily being rage baited of course on pretty much saying or doing horrible things. And it's pretty much, which not gonna lie, it's like awful. It's pretty much awful. It's pretty much simply because of like you're literally like I don't know targeting in people that essentially like um what is it? They're essentially like targeting people, of course, who essentially have no way of defending themselves at all, simply because of like because they have no way to like handle. Don't know how to handle like I don't know people, I don't know, people hating on them on the internet, and pretty much, and people just essentially treating them as like subhuman. So like essentially treating them like subhuman, of course, like treating them like as like some type of freak sideshow rather than like living as like human beings pretty much. And as I state it, and as I said, pretty much like many of the like infamous locales, like I'm naming probably two very infamous ones, like Chris Chan and Daniel Lawson. Like those are two good examples, of course, of like victims of local culture, simply because of like these like those two essentially like essentially like I know about Chris Chan, of course. I've been he used to like upload videos of himself online and talking about like I think like generally about like comics, video games, and other stuff, which he ends up like getting a good amount of following from people, but eventually he ends up like gaining the attention from like I don't know trolls, essentially like by people who saw that he was different and essentially like started like exploiting him for views, making him doing or saying like I don't know awful things, specifically like some of the things that he did to his mom. I can't say what he did, or else this video is probably gonna get demonetized. As well as like saying or doing some like horrible things, which I do acknowledge. Yes, the things that he did are bad, but the reason for it is simply because of like I don't know, if just people just straight up pre pressuring him on like doing or saying some like notly things, and as well as him not having like awareness of like awareness of it, essentially being bullied online. And if of course same goes with Daniel Lawson, of course. Once essentially a sweet innocent kid, okay, was like a sweet innocent kid, a kid now just turned into like I don't know an awful person because of like I don't know online bullying, and essentially people like bullying him online and treating him like a freak show, like essentially like a freak rather than like a human being. And I think like the most and those are like two infamous ones. And then I think for like the most recent locale that I've been hearing about is World of Teachers, aka Joshua. I forgot. I don't know his last name, but I know his first name is Joshua. I'll probably pull up his name, a name, and also a photo of him. But anyways, back as I was saying, like same goes with like Joshua or Josh. I don't know. Like he was also like I don't know once a sweet innocent kid and who was like a loving was like I don't know a loving family and people who generally like supported him pretty much throughout throughout his entire life, but throughout his entire life and also like and also he also like just uploaded just funny little videos of like just him dancing to songs and and just essentially just innocent content. Like sure he was a bit of a weird, sure he was a little weird, but generally overall innocent. But that all changed when he became an adult, specifically when he moved to New York. Specifically when he moved to New York. That's when his life literally went downhill. Essentially, his content and went from like I don't know innocent videos of him just dancing or just being himself to him just straight up going to bars, drinking until he just straight up pass out. Oh, and just straight up being exploited by people, of course, for just for clicks and views and regarding him as like a human being and treating him like essentially treating him more like an object for entertainment rather than like a living breathing creature, which is just straight up awful. Yeah, like essentially like I've and those are essentially like the thing with lolcow culture, of course, and what makes it worse is some people like regard of not regard or like dismiss like the things they're doing, of course. Like sure, they try to defend themselves, saying like like, these people kind of deserve it, or I don't know, something like that, or like they try to like defend themselves, essentially, like, saying like they deserve it, or like they just try and find ways to like defend themselves of like what they're doing, even though, buddy, you're more awful than like the locals themselves. Like you're essentially treating someone on specifically someone on who is the vulnerable and also who's on the spectrum, of course, like an object for your own entertainment rather than living creature. So like essentially like I essentially I find like local culture disgusting. Specifically, people who like there's a very like a lot of a lot of channels, of course, that have build a reputation or build their channels on like document locales, of course, rather than like trying to help them or feel any form of sympathy over them at all. Like I think there's like only a few videos, of course, about like people actually taking like like feeling bad for locals, so feeling like morbidly disgusted with it. And I would love to be one of those people, of course, who would I would like to be one of those people who address this problem, of course. And I would like you guys to like I don't know spread the word too about local culture and essentially about like we shouldn't be treating like I don't know either treating anyone different nor like exploiting them and then for views and clicks. And I think that's probably all I think so far. Like there's probably more on it, or like there's more like dedicated channels, of course, talking about it. I'm just a random guy and just giving my thoughts on it, and also that's just pretty much it. That's all I probably have to say for today. So adios.